Now, welcome to another news from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
All right. Let's talk about Andor.
What?
I mean, we do have a new episode dropping in the wee hours of Wednesday morning.
I think we're going to stay up and watch this one. And
or the late nights of tonight.
potentially a quick
non-spoilery reaction
non-spoiler reaction kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see if we do that or not. Depends on I think how tired we are and if there's anything to kind of say non-spoilery. Spoilery? Is that?
Stop making up weird words.
I know. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody. Let's get to the news.
All right. Let's start out. Andor creator warns Star Wars fans, don't get too attached to anybody.
Game of Thrones theme intensifies.
With the first installment of the new franchise, setting deadly precedent, Tony Gilroy warns fans, don't get attached. I mean, it's unclear how Season 2 exactly is going to bridge the gap with Rogue One, but the man at the helm wants us to be prepared. I mean, we know how Rogue One ended with a lot of deaths.
I was going to say, don't get attached to Andor. Like, yeah, we know how that's going to go. But I'm assuming he means some of the other characters.
This is more information from that Hollywood Reporter interview that happened recently. When he does warn us not to get attached, he explains due to the grand scale of the show, it called for hundreds of speaking roles in Season 1 alone.
That's crazy.
Yes. But with Season 2 concluding that story, he had to kill off many of the series' characters, teasing that the body count is high throughout the show.
I mean, that's not. I mean, if we're going to have Empire versus Rebellion in the trenches kind of deal, like, of course, there's going to be some.
I mean, you can draw some parallels with probably the French Revolution. There was a lot of death in the French Revolution.
Yeah, there was.
Not every battle is the glorified success that we see in the shows that are much tamer, like Rebels. They don't always win. You don't always come home.
Yeah, any revolution like that is going to be bloody. I mean, almost any. I'm sure there's been peaceful takeovers and revolutions and stuff throughout history, but usually resistance from the one in control.
Right.
And I think we're going to see a lot of resistance out of the Empire when they realize what is going on, that the spark of rebellion is more of a threat than they realize.
I mean, the show has already kind of told us that. I mean, first 5-10 minutes of the show, Andor kills 2 people. Yeah, we saw at the end of the 3rd episode, there were quite a number of deaths from the corporate security group
there was, yeah.
So he's not afraid to make the he's promised us a gritty show, and he's going to show a more realistic rebellion, I guess. You know, a revolution that isn't blood-free.
Well, not that it wasn't, like, quote-unquote realistic in the...
I mean, no one's going to top your boy Luke's kill count, but...
No, that's impossible to top. I mean...
he blew up a Death Star.
But they also blew up the second Death Star. What about the second Death Star? I mean,
Lando, Wedge.
Lando and Wedge. I mean, get the, I guess, the technical kill on it.
Maybe there were less people on that one, though, because it wasn't a complete Death Star.
There could have been more workers, more innocent people, technically. We're getting into the clerks debate here about the workers on the Death Star and all that, but
right.
I would think there would almost be more innocent people on Death Star, too.
The janitor on the Death Star.
Because Death Star 1 was complete. You should just have your military, and maybe, your...
There's still staff.
There's still staff and stuff, but the second one, you got workers who are probably... Could be slave labor. We could have all kinds of horrible things on that side. I don't know where we're going with this.
Yeah.
Here we go again. But anyway, back to Tony Gilroy.
Okie dokie.
I guess she was liking the ramble.
Oh. All right, so... Gilroy said, we literally have 200 speaking parts in the first 12 episodes. When I figured out Season 2, I had to make around 30 phone calls to actors that I knew were going to go forward. I had to call them up and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. This is when you live. This is when you die. This is how many episodes you're in. I mean, the body count is high all the way through, but people live. It's a revolution. It's a very intense period of time. People are doing very dangerous things. Some people live, and some people don't. How do we know who lives or dies at the end from the previous Star Wars? You wouldn't know. I mean, there's people buried in Yavin. Who knows who's there?
Buried in Yavin? Jeez, what are we going to see? What is he telling us right now?
I mean, that kind of hints that maybe we'll see them move into the base.
Yeah, I think by the end of the
and
second
that they
season,
probably
yeah,
maybe
we'd
will
be on
have some
Yavin.
sort of funerals there for people they've lost.
Wow.
Possibly, yeah, bringing your comrades home.
Yeah.
Oof, sounds gritty. I'm in.
I'm in too. So far, loving it. 3 episodes. Episode 4 tonight. Fingers crossed. Like I said, I'm loving it. No connection there.
No
to
McMeeming there.
McMeeming, yeah.
All right. Well, comments illustrate the size and magnitude needed to tell this huge story. It's understandable the series intends to tell the tale of the Rebel Alliance's development from small cells to a military force. With any story in the war genre, deaths are to be expected, and Gilroy warns Andor is no exception to this rule, even being Disney.
Ooh.
I know.
Well, he talked about how Disney was. I think we brought this up in a video you did. How the brothel in the opening scene of the first episode, like he was wondering how they were going to respond to that.
That's probably why we don't see a bunch of naked ladies.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much of a, not that I have a ton of experience with brothels, but
well, brothels still try to present themselves as high class, like this one.
Yes,
where
a
they have
gentleman's club,
the matron
yes.
who will kind of come and introduce you to the woman or find out what you want and introduce you to the woman who will be working with you that evening.
Working with you?
It's business to them. Business. That's what the job of like the matron was, to kind of dole out the goods.
Wow. I love how you're trying to tiptoe around this.
And I did it very well.
I commend you. You got your point across without saying anything
risque,
yes.
With Andor featuring hundreds of characters, many of whom have never been featured in Star Wars prior, this series could set us up for a dynamic conclusion full of pain and loss.
Just like Rogue One.
But also hope, because rebellions are built on hope. But, yep, let's heed the warning and get excited.
Be warned, your characters are going to die. Get excited.
Nah, but it's going to be epic. Tim!
Tim with 2 M's. Exactly where you think they are.
Sorry,
She-Hulk reference for those not watching the show.
All right.
Bless you all who aren't.
Let's go to the second story today. You're done. Disney wants new Star Wars game to come out every 6 months.
Hey, I think fans have been saying that since they stopped coming out every 6 months, because that used to be kind of a thing. Oh, yeah. Not all too long ago. Well, actually, quite a while ago. Over 10 years since a certain Disney took over.
All right, so a new report surfaced showing that Disney wants to up the annual ante on Star Wars gaming. The article I'm referencing comes from Insider Gaming. You know, that's all started in 2013, when EA took over the gaming front for Lucasfilm's signature franchise. They had a 10-year exclusivity deal.
Yes, thank you for those 10 years of no games.
Hey, we're on the last year. I mean,
I know. They've already
2013 to 2023. We're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we know, it's kind of been a slow roll with them. The deal resulted in a number of canceled projects, as the company's focus was on in-house games, despite the release of 2 Battlefront titles, Squadrons and Jedi Fallen Order, and, a couple mobile games came out?
Yeah, I hope when they say every 6 months, they don't mean a new mobile game every 6 months. But anyway.
We'll get to what they're talking about here.
Oh, all right.
With the exclusivity part of the contract expiring and Star Wars games being open to an abundance of developers, Disney's long-term plans for the franchise are much more ambitious. They're seeking to give Star Wars more emphasis on gaming going forward. The tentative plan to have a game in franchise arrive at least once every 6 months, with each year ideally having one AAA event-level game and one smaller scale offering, which could be a mobile game. A
mobile game, yes. Which will make more money than the AAA game, but whatever.
Here's what we know are in development, because I know this list is bizarre. So
we'll just bizarre. I think it's just we hear about them all the time, and it's like you don't hear anything more, and you're like, is that still in development, or is that still real? Did I dream that?
But here's what we officially know is in development. The Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga Galactic Edition. It's supposed to hit the shelves in December for Christmas.
That's kind of a bigger bundle package thing.
It's kind of ridiculous because anyone who already got it isn't going to buy a brand new game. They may not even buy the DLC character packs that are coming out, the extra new ones, because if you've already beaten in 100% of the game, you really don't need any new characters at this point.
Yeah, it's just to run around on them. And
We've got a Star Wars Eclipse by Quantic Dream.
Due out in
the little engine that could.
2052, I think.
Knights of the Old Republic remake by Saber Interactive.
Due out in 2054. I'm
Star
joking, too.
Star Wars
2060s.
Hunters by Zynga. That mobile game.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that supposed to be out already?
It was supposed to be out already several times. It keeps getting pushed back.
Yeah.
The supplemental book gets pushed back.
Oh, that's a shame,
you
too.
have
I'm
to
so
wait
looking
read
forward to
about
reading
it.
that one.
Jedi Survivor.
Sorry.
by...
I'm just joking around. Relax. Anybody who's like, I actually do want to read that. But yeah,
I'm interested.
joking.
I'm interested, actually. Jedi Survivor by Respawn.
Really looking forward to that, obviously.
It's rumored to be coming March next year. We will see if that is true. An untitled first-person shooter by Respawn.
Battlefront 3.
We also have an untitled strategy game by Respawn Entertainment.
Yeah, aren't they making like 3? Wasn't that the announcement? So it's a first-person shooter, Survivor, and then...
a strategy game.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We've got Amy Hennig's untitled game by Skydance Media. I think that's the one that's supposed to be like a redo of a project that got canceled. Like Star Wars Underground or something.
Well, like the 1313? Is that what that is supposed to be technically?
I think that it's supposed to be like a redoing of that because the title
Did they confirm that?
was lost by the studio, but she was on that project and moved into a new studio. I don't remember. There is so much. I'm sure we'll actually get real details eventually.
Eventually.
And an untitled open world game by Ubisoft.
Fingers crossed on that one.
I know, they're a good...
I mean, if we can start getting these out one a year, yeah, I guess that would make sense that we would have a pretty good rotation of games. Mm-hmm. Assuming there's probably some others that are early in development that haven't even been, rumors aren't even leaking out about.
It's like you are reading my article ahead of me.
Oh, so I actually didn't read. I do read a lot of articles, but I didn't read this one, so.
Several additional titles are rumored to be in the pre-development stage, although some of the games I just mentioned are at least 4 years away, with Eclipse likely being the furthest out, although I feel like the remake of that's going to give it a run for its money, and which one's going to come out latest. But yeah, apparently the thing is that Quantic Dream's engine is having trouble expanding to fit the scale of the galaxy. It's been a development nightmare for the studio. We'll see how that goes. There's also rumors right now for a tie-in game for The Mandalorian. It's mostly speculation because of how well the show has been received.
Yeah, that's just one of those things you could probably guess at, and it's like throwing a dart, and hitting the board because it's Mandalorian, and of course they'd want to tie in something to that.
Yeah, I mean, the only mobile game we're really aware of right now is the ever-delayed Hunters. So if mobile games are supposed to provide some sort of supplement in the months between the AAA releases, we should be hearing a lot more in the future.
Well, mobile games are easier to make. I mean, from what I don't work in the game industry. I don't make games, but from what I understand, a lot of mobile games are kind of reskins of the same game.
I was going to say, they're a Mirrorverse game. They could probably find a way to make it Star Wars, and boom.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be a Star Wars expansion or whatever we would technically call it, patch or something. Yeah.
Yeah, for the Mirrorverse.
Yeah. Luke Skywalker versus Mickey Mouse or something fun. I don't know. I don't even know what the game is all that much. I know a lot of people have played it and said it's pretty decent, so.
It looks cool.
Yeah, sure. All right, well, that's all we got for you this time. So take to the comments below. Tell us what you think of any and all of today's news. Do you like the sound of a new Star Wars AAA title every year and then some other rando every year?
I feel like we should start a bingo card of characters we know the names of.
Oh, we should, like,
for
predictions?
Andor. No, a bingo card to
I get
figure
what
out
you're saying.
who's going to die.
I get what you're saying.
It's kind of grim.
It's very grim, yeah. It's like the Deadpool, yeah.
It is the Deadpool.
Yeah. But anyway, take to the comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.